How INFJs can set boundaries without feeling guilty. INFJs, known for their empathy, intuition, and deep understanding, often find themselves in situations where setting boundaries feels uncomfortable, sometimes even impossible. You may be an INFJ who has a hard time saying no or who feels guilty for taking time for yourself. But setting boundaries is vital for preserving your mental and emotional well-being. In today's video, we'll explore why boundaries are so important, common challenges INFJs face with setting them, and practical steps to create boundaries without feeling guilty. As an INFJ, you likely have a natural drive to help and connect with others deeply. This empathy is powerful, but it can also lead to burnout if you aren't careful. Boundaries are necessary to protect your time, energy, and mental health. They help prevent emotional exhaustion, especially because INFJs can quickly feel overwhelmed by others' emotions. Remember, boundaries aren't barriers to connection, they are actually a way to sustain your ability to help and support others. INFJs often struggle with boundary setting because they fear disappointing others or feel guilty for prioritizing themselves. They value harmony and avoid conflict, so saying no can feel selfish or abrasive. But this guilt comes from a misconception. Setting boundaries is not about rejecting others, it's about preserving your energy and maintaining the space to be your best self. Realizing this can make boundary setting feel less like an act of selfishness and more like an act of self-care. To release guilt around boundaries, try viewing them as an essential part of self-care rather than as a form of isolation. When you create healthy boundaries, you're not only protecting yourself but also ensuring that the energy you bring to relationships is genuine. Setting boundaries helps you recharge and show up as the thoughtful, empathetic person others appreciate. Think of it as filling your own cup so that you have more to give. INFJs can often feel unsure about expressing their needs directly, fearing that it will come off as harsh or demanding. But communicating boundaries doesn't have to be difficult. Using I statements helps soften the message and focus on your own needs rather than the other person's behavior. For example, say, "I need some time alone to recharge," instead of "you're taking up too much of my time." This approach makes the boundary clear while maintaining harmony. Even with clear boundaries, others may sometimes push or ignore them. For INFJs, who value peace, this can feel uncomfortable. If someone repeatedly crosses a boundary, gently but firmly remind them of it. For instance, if a friend keeps calling you late at night, you might say, "I really need to keep evenings for rest, let's catch up earlier in the day." Reinforcing boundaries shows respect for yourself, and consistent follow-through helps others learn to respect your limits. Start with small boundaries if you're new to the practice. For example, practice saying no to extra work if you feel overwhelmed, or set aside a few hours each weekend just for yourself. As you become comfortable with these smaller boundaries, it will be easier to set larger ones. Building boundary setting skills gradually can boost your confidence, making it feel more natural over time. INFJs often experience guilt around setting boundaries because they hold themselves to high standards of giving. Practicing self-compassion can help reduce this guilt. When you feel uneasy about saying no or creating personal space, remind yourself that everyone has limits, including you. Journaling about your emotions, meditating, or repeating affirmations like, "I deserve to rest and recharge," can help you stay grounded in the knowledge that self-care is not selfish. With the constant flow of information, notifications, and messages, INFJs can feel overwhelmed by technology. Creating boundaries with technology can protect mental well-being. This might mean setting limits on social media, choosing specific times to respond to messages, or even scheduling phone-free hours each day. Taking breaks from digital engagement allows INFJs to reset and stay present, helping them avoid feeling drained by constant online interactions. Boundaries are especially important in close relationships, where your empathy can sometimes lead to overextending yourself. Explain to loved ones that your need for space is about self-care, not rejection. For instance, say, "I value our time together, but I need time alone to recharge." Being honest about your needs builds trust and helps loved ones understand that your boundaries actually improve the quality of your time together. Ultimately, boundaries are a source of strength, not weakness. They help you preserve your empathy, protect your mental health, and bring your best self to every relationship. By setting boundaries, you honor yourself and teach others to respect you as well. Each time you set a boundary, you reinforce your own self-worth, proving that you can remain compassionate while still prioritizing your needs. Setting boundaries can be challenging, especially for INFJs, but it is a vital skill for maintaining your well-being. Boundaries allow you to show up fully as the intuitive, compassionate person you are without losing yourself in the process. Remember, taking care of yourself is a gift to those around you. If this video resonated, please like, subscribe, and share to connect with more INFJs who are learning to thrive.